Alright, what's going on, everybody? So, I haven't uploaded a video to this channel in a while because I don't know how some of these preparedness disaster channels put out content all the time. I see things that are happening, and I'm like, I could do a video about that, but it's not that big of a deal. But then I see all these other channels that are putting out, like, state of emergency declared in 2 counties in Oregon. This is the end. I don't get it. Like I'm not gonna make videos all the time about gloom and doom if it's not really there. If I don't really see a problem happening. I wish I could. I wish I could come on here every day, and because some of those channels, guys, you might not know this, but they get thousands of views, and essentially they make their entire livelihood off of YouTube ad revenue, and they sell merchandise and all the other stuff, so they have to have videos to do, right? I'm not going to come on here and make something out of nothing. I'm just not going to do that. But there have been some happenings, I guess you could say, around the world that need to be talked about. So let's just go over this real quick. I got a list. Saudi Arabia has shared intelligence with the U.S. warning of imminent Iranian attack, and that would include assets in the kingdom, which is Saudi Arabia, or even U.S. assets in the Arabian Persian Gulf. North Korea issued a threat today to use nuclear weapons to get the U.S. and South Korea to pay the most horrible price in history, an escalation of its rhetoric targeting the ongoing large-scale military drills between the U.S. and South Korea. And Bolsonaro, the current president of Brazil, does not concede, but says he will follow the Constitution and free speech after Brazil's election. Because if you guys are not aware, he lost the election to, I believe the other candidate's name was Lulu. He had been president of Brazil before. So I am concerned about that, just from the standpoint that the United States does import a lot of agricultural goods from Brazil. And the truckers down there have shut down a bunch of the highways and roads in protest to this, because in Brazil they have a popular vote election. Essentially, it's not like the states where we have an electoral college, because in Brazil, out of all the states of Brazil they have, all of them voted for Bolsonaro except one in the Northeast, which is what the challenger won, but that's the most populous region, so it's just popular vote. So essentially most of Brazil doesn't want him to be president except for that one region, and since they have more people, well, now he's the president. So there's been mass protests all over Brazil. The people are openly protesting outside of military bases, trying to get the military to coup d'etat the incoming government and keep Bolsonaro in power. So there could be a hotbed of things going on there for a while. I've already seen videos of people being killed down there in riots and protests. So if you have a weak stomach, don't watch a lot of the videos coming out of Brazil. Secondly, with the imminent Iranian attack, although it could happen, and this could be an attempt by the Iranian regime to take the pressure off of them with all the protests they have going on in the country against their dictatorial, religious, extremist government they have. It could be an attempt to do that, although I think it would be the worst decision they ever made. They would immediately be thrown out of power if that happened. So I don't think that's going to happen, although it could. The chance is there. I think it's more or less probably rhetoric coming from Saudi Arabia, so they can jack up the price of oil because of security concerns. So we could see gas prices and diesel prices going higher in the future. We were already going to see that anyway because there's a diesel shortage in the U.S. This could just make the problem way worse, as Saudi Arabia is going to try to bleed the world dry, raising oil prices. We'll have to just see how that plays out, but countries do go to war over oil, so keep that in mind. And lastly, North Korea. I've talked about on this channel for a long time. If it's going to start, it's probably going to start from North Korea. The U.S. just has too many assets in the Far East. They would be forced to respond. Taiwan, not so much. Although we do have troops there, not officially, but we do. I don't think we would do anything if China invaded Taiwan. Now, maybe we do, and maybe we saber rattle, maybe we hit a target here or there, but I don't think we're going to have the same response as if the North attacks the South and the Koreas, because there's just too many U.S. assets over there that need to be protected. And it would really, really go to a very high conflict level if the North decides to attack the South and then also start shooting missiles at Japan. They've already been doing flyover missiles for weeks. I've been reporting it on this channel. So that could be bad. Like very, 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 very bad. I'm at the point now to where, I believe that the Russians could probably set off a small tactical nuke in Ukraine and we still wouldn't respond. But if the South gets attacked and then the Koreas, there's going to be a huge U.S. response. And if North Korea is stupid enough to use the nuke or the 2 or 3 nukes they have, they're going to get nuked into the next Stone Age. So that's my biggest concern. Now, obviously, I want you guys to get prepared. I want you to be buying food, but you should have been doing that for weeks. The cheapest option, obviously, is to just buy rice, put it in Mylar bags with some oxygen absorbers. You can, if you want to go expensive and you have the money, you can buy a freeze dryer and do all that as a cheaper alternative to buying freeze-dried foods from companies like My Patriot Supply. But, those freeze dryers are rather expensive. So that's just up to you. It's all about the money you have, don't have, whatever. Just get prepared, because following the financial side of this on my other YouTube channel, Joshua Thompson, just take off the rants. I see the next couple of years being pretty bad. Pretty bad. And maybe even the Great Depression. I'm not there yet. I'm not calling it that this is going to be as bad as that. And obviously we have technology, and there's a lot more. We have a lot more modern things than they had back then that could have alleviated some of the pains and problems they had of being super poor in the 40s, 30s, and 40s. But it could be. I don't think we're there yet, but if I see those numbers starting to hit up, then yeah, I'm going to call that too. So do whatever you can to protect and provide for your family and yourself. I love each and every one of you. I'll see you in the next video.